Up until about a month ago, the Dyson Airwrap was my least used styling tool. And actually, I'd go so far as to say that it was the tool that I dreaded using the most. I just could not figure it out until I heard two simple things that completely changed the way that I use it. So today I really wanted to chat through how I've made the Dyson Airwrap work for me, because what is wild to me when I did a call out on Instagram is that more than half of you who own an Airwrap are either not using it or you just can't seem to figure it out. And I really hope that this aha moment that I had will give you some insight of your own in order to make this very, very expensive tool work for you. So I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm going to start by giving you the 4 tips, the things that I think are really important to getting the Airwrap to work. And then I'm also going to show you how I've actually used it to style my hair. I did shoot the footage this morning, so you'll be able to see the difference between how my hair looked when it was freshly styled and then how it looks now that the curls have dropped a little bit. And personally, I prefer this a bit more. I think it looks a bit softer on me and not too kind of overpowering. In terms of the Dyson, I have the Christmas limited edition version from last year, and this is before the ID launch. So it comes with 2 barrels, 2 smoothing brushes, a round volumizing brush, and also the Coanda Effect air dryer attachment, which also has the flyaway capability as well. In terms of my hair type, I have high porosity hair, which means that my hair hates moisture. Basically, it goes really frizzy if it has any sort of moisture. It is sort of wiry, not very smooth when you run your finger down the strand. And there is information out there on how you can determine what sort of hair type you have. And actually, for that reason, I thought maybe the Airwrap just will not work for me. Not true, I figured it out. Also, I have kind of thicker hair, but my hair is currently in a phase of growth. I've had 2 children. I had this really awkward phase where my underlayer and also my top layer were both short and then the middle layer was long. Now we've got bottom layer, middle layer the same length, top length is sort of getting there slowly. So number 1 on the list is that you really need to use styling products in your hair. No matter what anybody says, this is very, very important. But not only the products that you use once you've washed your hair, but also the shampoo and conditioner that you're using too. My personal go-to combination is the Kupuasu shampoo from Cloran. This is really highly moisturizing, great for my quite dry hair. And then I'm also really loving the Coco and Eve coconut and fig mask. This is hyper nourishing. It is really, really moisturizing, and my hair always ends up feeling really nice and shiny after I've used it. Originally, I was using 4 styling products in my hair. I'll do a little video of what it was that I was reaching for, but I've now been able to kind of bring this down to 2. So I'm using a hair oil from GHD. This to me is just the most effective one that I've tried. It always leaves my hair looking very sleek and shiny. And then secondly, I'm using a product from Dyson's own Kairazan range. They launched this just the other month, so I went to the launch event and I got to learn a lot about it. And this is their pre-styling cream. It does dispense the same exact amount each time you push the pump, so I use maybe 5 pumps or so in order to coat all my hair with an ample amount of product. The other thing is that I've incorporated hairspray, and I wasn't doing this before, but this is just something that really does help to hold the style in your hair. And for me, a huge part of the reason why I avoided using hairspray is my own connection to hairspray comes back to the 80s, the sort of hairspray my mum used and her hair was really crunchy. We've obviously come a long way, and I always make sure that I'm combing my hair out immediately after I've applied it so that it has a really nice soft bounce to it. But in addition to that, I am using the post-styling serum from Dyson, which is supposed to remove the need for hairspray, but I can't quit it. I feel like it's also the thing that's helping the hairstyle hold, but I'll leave links to all these products down below in case you want to go and find out any more information about it. The second element is practice, and this was the biggest barrier to entry for me because I wash my hair on average once a week, which means that I have 52 to maybe 75 on the generous side opportunities to style my hair for the week, which means that I want to make sure it looks good. And every time I use the Dyson, my hair just looked dreadful and really fluffy, really kind of frizzy, and it put me off trying. And even when I would spend hours trying to get it to work for me, I just couldn't figure it out, which can be really frustrating when you're spending so much money on a tool like this and you just can't figure out how to get it to work. And I think that there's a misconception that if you spend this amount of money on the Airwrap that it's going to work for you off the get-go. No, you actually need to know or figure out how to get it to work for your specific hair type. And a great analogy for this is, just say you're in the kitchen and you spend a lot of money on some premium ingredients. the food is not going to taste good if you don't know how to cook what you have bought. So same goes for the hair tool, you need to know how to use it. And then for the 2 game-changing anecdotes that really changed the way that I looked at the Airwrap and actually were the things that helped me to figure out how to use it is, number 1, certain hair types need more work, which means that you need to go over and over the hair in order to get the hairstyle to actually stick. And this kind of realization popped up as I was getting a blow dry, and I noticed the hairdresser was really taking her time. She had to keep going over the same piece of hair over and over, and then she had to keep coming back to it even after she had done parts at the back. And she said to me, yeah, sometimes, you know, you just have to keep going over the hair because the hair's a little bit thicker or the hair type. And it just made me go, oh, maybe I need to be doing the same thing with the Airwrap. Maybe I need to allow that hot air to work on my hair a little bit longer. Maybe I need to go back over it afterwards in order to get that hairstyle to truly stick in my hair. And it makes sense because even when I'm using my GHD straightener or my curling tong, I have to apply more heat for longer in order to get that hairstyle to stay all day and even still be there the next day. So that was a really big one for me. So if you're having trouble getting the style to stick for you, try repeatedly going back over the hair again and see how that works for you. The 4th and final thing, and this was a really big one that a stylist mentioned, she said, if your hair is not 100% dry, the hairstyle is just going to drop out. It doesn't matter what you do. And this was really interesting because I'd never considered this, and as someone who has high porosity hair, it makes so much sense. And part of where I was going wrong is that I was actually trying to use the curling barrel on my hair when it was 80 to 90% dry. What I've since realized is that I actually need to be using on my hair when it is 100% dry, like not even a little ounce of moisture in my hair. And time of year doesn't matter. That's not the important point. The point is that my hair needs to be completely dry after washing it. So what I've taken to doing is washing my hair on the Sunday and then I will style it on the Monday morning, and that has had the best result for me, the most impactful result, and I've found that my hairstyle will stay all day. And I can't even explain to you just how gratifying it is to finally figure out the keys to making a really expensive tool like this actually work for your hair when you've had no success for it in the past. And it's one of the reasons why I've now been using it every single day. So because my hairstyle does tend to fall out overnight, doesn't matter what tool I use, I usually have to kind of give it a little bit of a refresh in the morning. So I spend less than 5 minutes using the curling barrel and then my hair looks so voluminous. And if you kind of follow my daily outfits on Instagram or on TikTok, you'll probably have noticed that my hair is looking just a little bit nicer. So in terms of how I'm actually using this, once I've washed my hair, what I'll do is I'll apply those products. So I'll put the GHD oil through my hair and kind of give that a really nice comb through, and then I'll also use that serum from the Dyson Kaizen range just in order to prep my hair so it is ready to be blow dried. And then I'll use the smoothing dryer attachment, which looks like this, and I'll just attach that onto the base tool, and I'll use this through my hair until it is around about 80% dry, really focusing on the roots. Then once my hair is around about 80% dry, I'll take that off and I will switch to one of the smoothing brushes. I don't particularly have a preference. I know one is better for thicker hair and one better for thinner hair, but I will use either one with reckless abandon. And I like this because it kind of just helps to smooth the hair so that I don't have any of those kind of frizzy flyaways, which I'm quite prone to getting. So that really helps with that, and also just kind of helping to straighten the hair out. Then after I've kind of run that through my hair a few times, I will switch over to the volumizing barrel, and I like this because it gives me kind of that salon effect blow dry just for the day, as I feel like my hair looks best when it's got a little bit of a kink to it. So I will really use a sense of kind of friction force. You kind of want to have this sense of tension in your hair when you are using the volumizing brush in order to kind of pull your hair up and away from the root so that it really does apply that volume. And also, you want to have that tension when you are trying to create those sort of waves and curls in your hair when you are using this particular attachment. You can also just wrap your hair around the round brush in order to create a little bit of a curled effect if you want, and then sort of brushing that through. But that is sort of the next thing that I will do, and I find it gives me quite a nice sort of a blow waved effect. Not as good as if I was at the salon. I haven't quite perfected the technique, but I am pretty happy with the results, and it's something that I'm quite happy to leave the house in. I don't really use the smoothing section on the blow dry attachment. And also, just another thing to note, the actual Dyson Supersonic is way better than using this. It dries your hair so much faster. It's more powerful because it is a tool that is designed to blow dry your hair, whereas this is a tool that's designed to style your hair. When I am drying my hair, I do like to pin my hair up into sections so that I can really get airflow into the root of the hair. When my hair is dry, maybe it's either an hour after I've finished kind of blow drying it and using the volumizing brush, or it's the next day, I will use the barrel attachment. And I love how the update means that you can literally just switch the direction by twisting this nozzle at the top here, and I would just go through and curl my hair. I prefer the slimmer, longer nozzle, as I just feel like it gives me a nicer curl. The other one's a little bit too thick, and I will slowly go around my hair. It doesn't matter if I'm going from front to back or back to front. I don't really think that that actually makes a difference, and I don't pin my hair up in any particular way when I am using the curling barrel attachment. I just love the little coils. I feel like they're so bouncy, and it just feels so satisfying once you pull them off your hair. I do think it's really important that you are using the cool shot for at least 6 seconds, and a great way to test is to make sure that the actual air coming out has completely cooled down. So quite often I will wrap my hand around the attachment in order to see how warm my hair is. If it's cooled down, then I know that it's time to turn off the tool and remove the wand so I get that bouncy little coil. The final thing that I will do, as mentioned, is I will run that post-styling serum all through my hair, and I quite like to kind of grip onto my hair to make sure that it's really evenly dispersed, and then and it ends up leaving it really nice and soft. It's bouncy, and as you can see, like, it's still got so much body and also those beautiful curls in it even hours later. So for that reason, I'm just so happy with the Airwrap, and I can see so much value in it now, so much more so than when I first got it. And I really hope that this video helps some of you out there who have really been struggling to get the Airwrap to work for you. I know this isn't going to be a panacea for everybody, and your hair type is really going to dictate how this works for you. And another really important thing to note is to just remember that everyone's hair type is different, and what is it that you want to get out of the Airwrap? Is it that you want it to be able to curl your hair? Is this the attachment that you really want to get working for you? Or is it that you want to use it to get more of that natural blow wave effect that you would get maybe through the round brush? So those are just some really good questions to ask yourself, especially if you're someone who is considering buying one but you're not sure whether to. And also, just make sure if you are buying one, buy it during one of their sales, because you can usually save a couple $100s. I will be sure to link all the places you can buy an Airwrap down below in case you want to go and check out some more information about it. But yeah, if you have any other questions, or if there's any other advice that I can impart, I'm going to leave it in a pinned comment. Leave your comments below. I'll do my best to answer them as soon as I can. And yeah, thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. I will see you very soon with a brand new video. Thanks for watching. Bye.